Hey boys, welcome back to some more Cricket 19 career mode, and I'm going to be back into the swing of Cricket 19 pretty shortly. Again, sort of like the little goal for me is to upload a rugby league and a cricket video on the same day. There's always the odd day where I don't upload anything, and then the odd day there's going to be only one of each series, but you know, the goal is to get one of each series up, and obviously cricket it's getting back into the swing of things. The women's Big Bash is up and running. The Shield cricket is back. There's some internationals coming up, and then the summer of cricket is just around the corner. So yeah, we're gonna be back into the swing of things, and I'll be uploading Cricket 19 more consistently, because obviously it's been pretty. It took like a fairly big break, and then it sort of come back in spits and spurts, and then like honestly the views for the cricket stuff has just dropped off a cliff, dude. Everyone just watches Weaver and Twisty, I guess, nowadays, because I'm pretty sure they like pretty much just kept uploading ever since the game released, and that's sort of how YouTube can go. It's a lot to do with consistency in uploading. So regardless, even if the views stay like really low for Cricket 19, I'll still be uploading it. Hopefully like it most times once a day, or most days of the week, because it's cricket is my sport. Cricket and rugby league, they're my babies right there, and I still really enjoy the game. I got back on recently, and it's still a good game. They've updated it. They've updated it a fair bit, actually. One of the very new, the first thing I noticed, and one little caveat here is that obviously a fair few episodes to get uploaded are gonna be before like the most recent updates. I don't know if there's anything that major. I did read a couple of patch notes, like for the most recent, and there wasn't anything that game changing, but there were a few little things. But the one thing I noticed like instantly was the fielders actually throw the ball in like freaking rockets, which is great. It's fantastic. It's one of the best changes, and I can't believe it took them this long and this many games for them to actually have fielders throw the ball in like a human being. It's crazy, dude. But getting back to this game, we're into the T20 aspect. So this is meant to be the Big Bash. For previous games, it would be the Big Bash. And I'll be going on a little bit of a rant here, because I have no idea why on earth they've done this. And I guess it's because of Big Bash Boom. But the strange, I mean, it's so strange because Big Ant developed Big Bash Boom. I actually don't know who published Big Bash Boom. I have no idea. I don't think it was True Blue. I have no idea who published it, but Big Ant developed it, and they have the licensing for the Big Bash in that. I guess Big Bash Cricket didn't allow them to license it in this game, which is just mind-boggling. I have no idea. I have no idea why. And the other really strange aspect of this, because thinking back, I don't think the Big Bash was licensed in other iterations of cricket, the cricket games. But we had the fan hub, and you could download all the teams, and you could just sort of like copy it on to the game, and you can do the same. This is blowing my mind. I haven't really heard that many people talk about this. I don't know if people have, and I just haven't seen it, but I have no idea why. Because all the other tournaments, you can do. I'm pretty sure you can, like the Caribbean Cup stuff, like the Indian Premier League. You can download them from the fan hub and and put them onto like the generic ones that the game comes with, like in previous games. I'm pretty sure anyway. Maybe I'm mistaken, because I haven't really worried too much about that because we haven't really made any teams. But I'm pretty sure I went into that and I saw you could do it. But obviously I tried to do it for the Big Bash. I went into the academy, the fan hub. I downloaded all the teams because, you know, people had made all the Big Bash teams. And then they're just on custom teams. There's no option to link them to these teams. So the Big Bash, the T20 League, is literally just, yeah, it's just the state teams, but T20 format. Yeah, it's very disappointing. You know, at the end of the day, I mean, I guess it doesn't actually change that much, but you know, it is a big thing, and it's always a fun sort of detour in a career mode, like going to a Big Bash and you get to sign with a different team. But in this, you literally just play for, like I picked the Bulls to start with, Queensland, and I'm playing for Queensland in the T20 League. Like there's no signing, there's no, you know, international players. There's none of that, as we do pick up a wicket here, but it's very disappointing. They must have just got the red X from Cricket Australia or whatever the head honcho is in for the Big Bash, and they told them they couldn't allow it. Like I don't know. It's so strange because they did. That's the thing that I'm confused about, because in previous games, as right here, look at this dude. He takes the freaking catch and he walks over the rope. You absolute goose. You absolute fool. It was pretty well clipped, but should have been out. Should have been out. He had it. He wasn't even moving backwards. I guess he jumped. He was a bit off balance, and then you know, just decided to stroll back. Good on you, champ. But that's the thing I'm just so confused about, because in previous games, right, in Ashes cricket, the Ashes was licensed, but all the other tournaments were not. I think the domestic Australian competition was, but the Big Bash, the IPL, the England T20, and even like other international teams, they weren't licensed. Like they obviously didn't pay a licensing fee and have those in the game. As again, are you kidding me, dude? Nick Larkin, he's got away with 2 sixes over the square leg boundary now. That one was a little bit further back, so I'm still peeved, but yeah. It's good to be back. It's good to be back, dude. But yeah, it's very disappointing. I have no idea why it's not a feature in this game. Like that's what I'd say. Like it must be. They must have got something from Big Bash saying they couldn't do it. The only other thing I can think of, and it's, you know, it's a disappointing thing to think about, is that maybe because they released Big Bash Boom, they want people to buy Big Bash Boom. And the more I sort of think about this and I say it out loud, honestly, the more plausible it becomes. It's a very shitty tactic if it is true, because honestly, Big Bash Boom is like complete dog shit. It's not a fun game at all. It's pretty bad. It was good for a little bit of a hit, but really not that fun for an arcadey cricket game, how it should be. But my thinking is that maybe they had Big Bash Boom, and then, you know, because obviously this game, we get another wicket. Beautiful stuff on Reeks trying to blast us over long on. Looks like they're going to win the game, so it's a little bit ambitious from Enrique's, but you know, Cricket 19 getting released. If it had the capability to have the Big Bash, why would people buy Big Bash Boom? They could just play the Big Bash on a proper cricket game. Is this one? Look at the bit of fielding here. That's beautiful stuff. I'll make you learn a trick or two. This has been a crazy spell of bowling. I haven't even been talking about our bowling, but there's been a lot of crazy stuff. Mitch Swepson out there, brilliant stuff, buddy. you know, looking after the other leggy, which is good to see. We're going to get another wicket here. Peter Neville. What is happening in this game, dude? I could have finished my train of thought, but yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe they were like, well, if we don't give the capabilities to have the Big Bash in Cricket 19, then it sort of gives people only one chance or one choice to play the Big Bash, which is, like I said, if that's actually the reason, that is a terrible, terrible thing to do. And I feel like they haven't really been given much flack for that. Maybe they have, I don't know. I'm sure on like the forums people have been complaining and stuff, but if like that's a pretty egregious thing. I don't know if that's necessarily why it is like that, but honestly it could be. Like it just doesn't make sense, because I mean I could say it again, but I went over it. Literally in the last games you could do the same thing, but yeah, I don't know. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the slight return, even though I put up a video very recently. But yeah, look forward to more Cricket 19 videos to come. Hopefully, yeah, enjoyed. Like and comments, and I'll see you in the next one.